The whole market is in amazement right now. Shiba Inu goes through a steep price drop. People are making assumptions. How does this make sense? Regardless, it is a day of major occurrences. A lot of people were surprised by Coinbase recently. In the span of a single day, about $81 million. Yet a problem was just recently pointed out by Coinbase's CEO. On top of that, this could reawaken interest in Shiba Inus. Why is this taking place? Moreover, what am I going to talk about? Give me a moment to explain. Your daily dose of Shiba wealthy coins is here. For all your Shiba-related questions, this is the place to be. Subscribe if you want to know what's happening in the cryptocurrency market and get ahead of the curve with all the newest predictions. Click the like button to receive more Shiba news. Wow, what happened just now? This is not your average day for a Shiba Inu. Everything seemed to be in pristine shape yesterday. Shiba Inu prices have risen sharply during the previous week, leading to some astonishing gains. This pump was anything but little. The whole town was on the edge of its seats with anticipation because of this development. Everyone was way too excited. The graphs showed a verdant shade, and after what seemed like an eternity, Shiba Inu seemed ready to reassert its former splendor. This wasn't just another random hike in prices. No, it was heavier than that one. It was regaining ground lost over the past week, breaking through levels of resistance, and making some think this might be it. We have at last emerged, after much anticipation. Regardless of the many consolidations, drops and times when Shiba Inu hinted to a rally that never came to pass. I had a unique experience yesterday. People were jubilant, and the excitement was high on social media during that time. What followed was the events of today. The Shiba Inu's price tag did more than just dip a little. It failed catastrophically. Challenging. Less than 3% fell in only one day. Like the market completely turned on its head in the middle of the night, changing the dynamics of the entire situation. Some time ago, people started talking about possible breaches and new heights. Frustration and red candles are becoming defining characteristics of the situation. Those who were feeling upbeat only a few hours before will find it horrifying. The way it happened, though, is what makes it so much worse. The importance of the numerical quantities is secondary. The problem is that everyone in the neighborhood was completely misled. It seemed like the Shiba Inu was finally escaping, which would prove the doubters wrong and give the holders something to celebrate. The commotion was real right up until it died down. People were shocked and disappointed that it didn't catch on. Coping with that kind of emotional damage is tough. In the blink of an eye, you may go from being sure that a market upturn is on the horizon to staring at a precipitous drop and wondering what went wrong. To tell you the truth, this is more than just annoying. This is really wearing you down. Shiba Inu owners have encountered this cycle multiple times. With all the sudden turns, pumps, and fakeouts, it's like being on an endless roller coaster. Watching so much hope turn to disappointment in the span of a single day is discouraging, even though the long-term backers will say that this is just a normal phenomena. You might be asking, what the fuck happened? Why did the Shiba Inu suddenly fall from grace after such a spectacular run? To find out, though, we need to broaden our view and take a look at the crypto king. Also, none saw Bitcoin coming until quite recently. Not long ago, it was throbbing at an incredible rate, reaching a mind-boggling 107,000. It really seemed like cryptocurrencies had reached a new level. People were celebrating. Social media was overwhelmed with enthusiasm. So what's the deal? Reserves of Bitcoin were the subject of a major declaration by Donald Trump. An unprecedented amount of excitement and a meteoric rise in the market were both brought about by that one statement, which caused a dramatic increase in sales. According to one analyst's dissection of the situation, global trade disputes are the fundamental cause. The market value of all cryptocurrencies has dropped to $3.3 trillion, a loss of about 1%, and the timing of this fall was not coincidental. It harmonizes flawlessly with the additional tariffs that the U.S. has imposed on China, Mexico, and Canada. The current state of affairs is as follows: a 25% duty on Canadian and Mexican goods, and a 10% tariff on energy supplies are just a few examples of the large trade tariffs recently imposed by the Trump administration. Furthermore, Chinese goods are subject to an extra 10% tax. To what extent does this impact the Bitcoin market? When international trade falls, the financial markets usually go into a tailspin. Equity prices begin to fall. Anxieties among investors spread to cryptocurrencies as a whole. This is exactly what's happening right now. When Bitcoin's value drops and stocks struggle, the market as a whole, even Shiba Inus, feels the heat. Nevertheless, hold tight. An even more remarkable occurrence took place amid all this mayhem. All of the Shiba Inu people were caught unawares by the mysterious whale's sudden behavior today. Arkham Intelligence's on-chain data has led us to the surprising discovery that an unknown Shiba Inu whale deposited a massive sum of money into Coinbase. Massive Shiba Inu were sent by this beast straight to the hot wallet of the biggest US cryptocurrency exchange. All of that Shiba Inu, worth over $2.5 million, was discarded in one go. The main question is, why is that? How could this huge Shiba Inu owner possibly have gotten their hands on all those coins? Do you know if they are selling? Can they handle a more important occasion? Oh, no one knows. It defies explanation in any way. Given the present financial turmoil, the timing is especially strange. And if it wasn't shocking enough, allow me to present something even more peculiar. Another behemoth has completely upended the market. A completely absurd finding has been made public by one analyst very lately. Shorting Ethereum at $3,200, someone used 50 times leverage. As an added bonus, they have an incredible $81 million in profit sitting on their hands right now. In fact, $81 million. Such a transaction is more than just lucky. Either that was the most incredibly astute decision ever made, or it was something totally else. Is it possible that this person has knowledge that the market as a whole does not? The wager is based on calculations that we do not have access to. Whatever the case may be, this is a major development. This is the part of the Shiba Inu tale that gets interesting. Such moves often set the stage for major events, because they entail leveraged bets, unpredictable price changes, and big whale trades. Unpredictability, a sudden turn, or perhaps the beginning of something bigger, could all be signs of this. Some even go so far as to suggest that whales are manipulating the market, while the rest of us just respond to their every move. The idea is doable. Having said that, this is just speculation. Right now all we have are clues. A mysterious Shiba Inu giant making a large deposit, a really questionable Ethereum short move, and a market in total chaos. This will either cause a disaster or fade into the background noise. That much is certain. A major event is about to take place. Still, in the middle of all the chaos, Coinbase's CEO recently revealed something big. Shiba Inu could be impacted in a significant way. Crypto asset allocation was one of his topics. Even if he hasn't totally formed an opinion yet, his views are fascinating. Right now, two main ideas are running through his head. There is just one very easy way, and that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, in his view, would be the simplest and most direct choice. Just like gold's clear air, but with no clear substitute. At that juncture, things start to get interesting. In addition, he went over the idea of a market capitalization-weighted crypto asset index, which would spread exposure across the biggest players in the business without favoring any one currency. What about the other option, by the way? The Shiba Inu may be greatly affected by this. Conversations about cryptocurrency indexes would expand beyond Bitcoin if a major player like Coinbase pushed for one. Other prestigious assets like Shiba Inus would also be recognized. Such institutional backing might be just what the Shiba Inu project needs to become stable and credible in the face of such intense volatility and unpredictability. Nothing is set in stone though, and the market is presently experiencing a great deal of volatility. But if Coinbase continues down this road, it might spell a watershed moment for all of crypto, including Bitcoin and Shiba Inus. Also, looking at the bigger picture, the Shiba Inu group has something to say to any and all investors. They remain unwavering in their belief that Shiba Inu will thrive, even in the face of market volatility and unpredictability. After the steep fall in the cryptocurrency market, Lucy, the head of Shiba Inu marketing, stepped in to calm the community. Although she is cognizant of the fact that most Shiba Inu owners are going through tough times right now, she refuses to give in. Whatever the rankings may be right now, she thinks Shiba Inu is destined for much bigger things. She remained mum when asked why she was so optimistic. Lucy, on the other hand, has obviously never wavered in her trust in the Shiba Inu. This isn't just another meme coin in her view. Everything is growing, and the new projects are just pieces of a much bigger picture. According to her, Shiba Inus will be able to reach new heights if these changes lead to acceptance. In addition, the situation becomes really interesting at this point. The team is not merely considering the minor details. They are striving for institutional recognition. They are currently advocating for the establishment of a Shiba Inu ETF in the United States, which if approved would represent a significant development. Everything could be altered if that occurs. The possible ramifications of a government adding Shiba Inu into its reserves are enormous. Shiba Inu may be raised to a new degree of legitimacy if other nations adopt this strategy. Therefore, despite the possible disheartening nature of today's price action, the team is not neglecting the long-term objective. They regard the Shiba Inu as maturing, expanding, and becoming more than a mere meme. It is growing into